Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin. That's you, Aelx.
Oh, hi, I'm Aelx Bomb. I'm the guest.
And I'm your co-host, Austin.
And I'm your co-host, Ian.
Oh, man. So what an exciting episode. We want to thank you for joining us today here on Crit Academy Studios, where everything's made up and your roles don't matter. That's also Aelx.
Oh, okay. Hi, I am Aelx Bomb. I am a TikTok content creator as well as a Twitch streamer. My TikTok content mostly focuses around dungeon mastering and dungeon mastering advice and storytelling, where my Twitch content is very much similar to what they do here, which is just noodling around with Dungeons and Dragons.
I love that, noodling around.
And I just wanted to throw this out there that on February 12th to the 14th, so next weekend, I am going to be hosting a Valentine's Day weekend fundraiser. We are going to be raising money for the animal shelter that my cat comes from, the Bayou Animal Shelter here in Houston, Texas. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to be speed dating the monster books, which means that we will go through every single monster in all 3 monster books over the 3 days. Yes, it's going to be like 8 hours of streaming a day, and we will be putting them into 4 categories: fightable, adoptable, friendable, or nopeable. As in, like, you want to run from them.
Like, nopeable. My brain didn't catch that. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, like, they're terrifying. Just looking at them.
Yeah, you just don't want to be near them.
Yeah, we're gonna have guests and stuff, and it's gonna be really fun. And whenever you donate, there's like a menu that you get to pick from. And for $30, Max will come over here, fill up a python with whipped cream, and smash it in my face.
I'm on it.
So yeah, that's what I'm doing next weekend.
And they can. What is your? Can you tell us your Twitch channel again?
Twitch.tv/Aelx Bomb, but misspelled, of course. Aelx BOMB.
If you need a good follow through, feel free to follow us on our show notes at critacademy.com/post/episode 207. The information is also in there as well.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So I'm really excited for today. Thank you so much, Aelx, for joining you. I'm a huge fan of your D&D content on TikTok. I know. I feel like I'm an old man on TikTok because I still haven't figured out all the cool stuff it can do yet. But one thing I have certainly learned is that it is a great resource if you like to play RPGs.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many amazing content creators such as yourself. Before we really get into that stuff, there is something I would like to talk to the audience about really quick. Vigilantes and Villains playtest. We run a bi-weekly game. We just had issue 1 2 weeks ago, and issue 2 starts this Friday. So please come and check it out. Also, you can join our Vigilantes and Villains group over on our Facebook to stay in the loop about the news of the upcoming Kickstarter project. If you don't know, Vigilantes and Villains is a superhero RPG using the 5th edition rule set. We're already in the middle of playtesting. We've got a really sound concept right now, and I hope you'll come and join and kick it with us. Yeah. So, before we get into this awesome main topic, the Volo's complete race handbook, which is awesome if you like different race options and the different sorts of like features mechanic wise. We got some really good stuff for you today. But as always, we like to start the show off on a high note, and we do that by giving away fat loots.
Yeah.
So, speaking of fat loot, our gift giveaway is by Loresmith, as always. Thank you, you guys. You guys are always awesome. We love you. And it is the Modular Dungeon Tile Set, specifically the Arcania set. Now, the Arcania digital tile set lets you make dark, shadowy dungeon maps, rich with the fumes of arcane secrets. So, on one hand, you might find that new mountain dwarf that's looking a little weird. Something's a little odd about it. It doesn't act the same. Or maybe you found an Azamar who has big glowing green eyes and for some reason knows a spell that's not typical. What's going on here? The Arcane Ruins this time are a little strange.
Who's our winner today?
Our winner today is Brendan Zinn. Congratulations. You are a winner.
Congratulations. We're making it rain all them fat loots.
But don't worry, if you didn't win, have no fear. Just head over to critacademy.com and subscribe for your chance to win. Super nice, super easy. Just do it. It's free.
Do it. Do it now. All right. So, on to our main topic. Once again, Aelx, thank you for joining us. As our lovely guest, would you be interested in telling us about your subrace that you chose? Well, I guess I should say a little bit more about the product, huh? Let's
backtrack a little bit.
I'll go back a little bit, then we'll feed into it. It's pretty straightforward, but Volo's complete subrace handbook has 80 subraces and variants and over 30 new racial features for you to bring with your bring to your stories and campaigns. And a lot of it is inspired from races that were in previous editions, which is great because I haven't played all the editions, so you get to kind of see where the inspiration comes from those. Now, Aelx, you had picked one, so would you like to start this show on the road?
Okay, so I went through. I have notes. I went through them, and we actually went through them on stream on Friday. But before that, I had gone through several of the different ones, and you always have an affinity for like Kenku and like stuff like that. But I had seen what you guys had picked, and I wanted to be able to do something that was a more antithesis of what you guys had picked. And then I ran across Mountain Orc. And I fell in love. So basically, the reason, one of the big things that I loved about Mountain Orc was, first of all, their appearance. It's very, not necessarily different from Orc, but just tweaked just in such a way that is very interesting. So they said that they had a powerful neck. And one of the easiest ways to make somebody look inhuman while still looking human at the same time is to make their neck width the same as their jaw width. That'll actually, you won't be able to tell what's wrong, but something is wrong. And if you actually look at a lot of comic book supervillains, like Mr. Freeze and Lex Luthor, their necks are very wide comparatively to their jaw. And the reason why is because they're trying to make them look inhuman without making them look inhuman. It's a little sneaky trick of the eye, trick of psychology.
That way when they get their ass kicked, nobody complains.
Yeah, exactly. It's because they don't like, for some reason, whenever that kind of a disproportionate occurs, you feel awkward and you feel like strange about them. And then the empathy doesn't necessarily connect. So they have big, powerful necks, which I thought showed me that the author actually like looked into the psychology of like what makes somebody look scary or intimidating.
Right.
And then they said there was room for tattoos, and as a person who loves tattoos, I always love that. But my favorite part was the pig snout. So they said that the mountain orc actually has like a piggish nose. And I am half Italian. My grandparents are immigrants from Italy. And being called pig is actually one of the worst insults that you can say to an Italian person. So so there was one time that I actually called my grandmother like a pig. Like I said, don't be a pig, because she was eating a lot, and I started
she gets swat
being an Italian, and oh my god, and like so that's whenever I learned pig is actually a very horrible thing to call an Italian. And so they took this concept of a pig and just kind of brought that entirely into an orc and made an orc boar. And I'm just thinking of Legend of Zelda and like the boar that Gandalf and stuff like that. Yeah, Ganon. Yeah. Oh my god, like I just love the idea of this really menacing evil normally. I mean, even in Princess Mononoke, which is my favorite movie.
Oh my god, what a great movie.
I know. It's so good. But even in Princess Mononoke, the first demon that you see is a boar. Like it's a well scripted thing throughout time. And they decided to take that and make them have pig-like noses and stuff like that. And it was so just the description blew me away. Like I don't who wrote this? Do y'all know the author's name?
I know the name of the company,
Okay.
which is Clan Crafter Ralding. If you give me a second, I will be happy to give you the name of the writers. So the publisher of choice, it doesn't actually say.
I was gonna say,
I think
looking
it-
right here, and I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, all I see is the company. So that's
And Subrace is
unusual.
by MJ Doiron.
Oh, there you go.
24?
Maybe that's unusual. Usually there is a name in there.
Yeah.
Under
Just
the
says
credits.
sources though, so I'm not really sure. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if they actually wrote it or not.
Yeah.
So published under Clan Crafter Ralding.
Well, just the way that they decided to mesh two really monstrous things together was just really, really captivated me. Beyond like, well, okay, let's be honest though. Did y'all read the Goliath ones?
Yeah.
The Goliath ones are sick, except Hill. I didn't like that one, but all the other Goliaths, they are crazy. I can't remember which one. That's what we did on Friday in stream. We went through the Goliaths and we gave them, because my cat's name is Uskar. He's named after my Uskar Emberhelm. He's the first
That's awesome.
PC that my boyfriend played in my game that went a year. That's what he's named after. But we gave one of the Goliaths actually got 5 out of 5 Uskars, and I think it was the fire Goliath.
The fire, yeah, they're based on the different, like, you got Frostborn, Fireborn. If we got time, we'll talk more about those because I did think that was interesting. Do you want to tell us what you thought of like the mechanical benefits that come with it?
Yes. So one of them was muscle bound. And if I remember correctly, okay, you gain proficiency at the athletic skill. You have proficiency bonuses doubled for any ability check made for initiative to maintain or break free of a grapple. And
makes sense.
That was one of those things where whenever I read that, like there are a couple of other races that whenever I read it, I was like, okay, and because all of my content is geared towards like new dungeon masters. Mm-hmm. So whenever I read a couple of them, I was like, I don't know if a new dungeon master could really like do this. Like I think it would break the game for a new person. But this one is so niche, so unique, and so freaking good that it's like I mean, you know, honestly, if a player broke my game by using this, I'd be proud of them. You know what I mean?
This mountain orc's gonna have to choke somebody.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
I actually thought the muscle bound was great because there's currently the only real leverage you get in 5th edition for grappling is either a barbarian with his rage and granting advantage, or the shitty ass grapple feat that nobody's gonna take because it can restrain you. Like this to me was a great middle ground for a big burly race that makes sense. When I think orc, I think gonna bash your face in, grab a rock, and beat you. So they're gonna get a hold of you and not let you go. So this I thought was an absolutely fantastic feature. I thought that because it gives you double your proficiency bonus, it makes me now want to play a mountain orc barbarian because ain't nobody escaping these muscles, man. Like once you get a hold of you, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, they're not getting away.
Yeah.
And if the boss is the big bad evil guy, if he's a medium sized or somewhere around there, that big bad evil guy is not running anywhere unless he can teleport.
And as you mentioned before, the fact that it is and when I play a grappler, it's not situational, it's the every turn thing, but it is something that isn't used often by most. And because of that, I feel like it could encourage more of that, which in my opinion leads to more roleplay. Hey, I'm gonna grapple the owlbear. Oh yeah, how you gonna do that? Oh, I'm gonna grab that bitch by the mouth and hold him open. You know, it encourages that sort of roleplay.
Yeah, I remember in our descent into Avernus, I have grappled many devils during that run through. You were proud of me.
They went flying away.
I was. It was like watching a child who had all grown up. I was so proud.
This devil is flying away with me. Let me just grab those wings real quick. We're skydiving today. That was a good time.
I love it.
I remember,
That's amazing.
I recall when I played Brute Harvest Maximus, when I built a grapple and nothing else. I did a very good job.
Yeah,
of it.
and you threw them all in the pit.
I love it.
That was
so,
awesome.
what is the Alex? What is the final racial feature that he got there?
Yeah, so the final one is the one that seals the deal for me. Oops, I just moved it. It's charging pin. When you use your bonus action to move as part of the aggressive trait, as part of that bonus action, you may try to grapple the creature, large or smaller, in your path. Make an athletics contested with the creature. If you succeed, you crash into the creature. Both of you and the creature are knocked prone. If the creature is also grappled and it takes bludgeoning damage equal to half of your level plus your strength modifier, and then on a failed save, you miss them and you land prone 10 feet past the creature.
That's awesome.
You're charging boar.
Yes.
You're charging boar. Oh my god.
It fits the flavor too. I love it.
This is the chef's kiss.
I feel like a football player if I was going to be playing this. Just be like, I'd be like walking around with a ball and I throw it at him and I'm just like, run, run from me.
My big imagination was like a multi-class barbarian or barbarian druid with this.
Ooh.
That would be really nasty. That'd be really, really nasty.
You'd have a orc pig thing barreling down on you. Because the first thing I would do is turn into a bear, right? With grapple, you get the multi-attack, but you totally would have to include the big, thick neck and the flat snout is part of the description because it's so important to this whole feel. Even giving your bear a little bit of tusks and stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. I would even let my player reflavor it. You're not a bear. You're a giant boar. Though I think you could probably turn into a boar, but I would give it to you if you wanted the mechanic purposes. But anyways,
you're just a bigger mountain orc. That's all that happened. You just get swoller.
Oh, that's funny. Ian, what did you think, boss?
You know how I am when it comes to brute force. This covers it.
Yes.
Yes, this is definitely a brute force. When if I play, I actually played for the first time yesterday in 3 years.
Because you're always a DM, right?
Yeah, but I actually enjoy being a forever DM, so it's I'm kind of oddball. But I either play buff debuff or straight up punch you in the face until you are bloody. No in between for me.
That's a lot of how I am. Like, I like to play. I'm strictly support class, which is why I love grapplers, which is why I love the bard, which is why I love the wizard, which is pretty much why I love anything that can be utility based, I guess. And this fits right along that same
feel like
thing.
It can be too, which is cool.
Yeah. Well, I would like when I finally played a rogue. Guess what I did? I took the mastermind one. I think is the one where you can bonus action help from a distance.
Bonus help. Yeah.
And so everyone's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, well, this time
hit that guy.
No. This time I'm gonna throw exploding piles of flour. What? Well, I took the chef background, so I'm just throwing things that explode in powder to distract the guy.
I love it.
You're not gonna backstab him? No, you look like you got it. Here's another powder bomb. You know, have it, enjoy it. So
funny.
This was a really good class. I really think it turned out really well. Or this race is a really good addition, and this is pretty consistent for the book and all the content. They have some really good options, and I think, as far as I can tell, there obviously I can't imagine every possible combination, but everything seemed relatively balanced with each other, which I think is something some people struggle with, but clearly it wasn't an issue for this team. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next option, which is my choice, which is the Imago. which is called nicknamed the Chaos Gnome. Infused with the spirit of chaos, this is already fitting me to a T. These gnomes are bastards. These gnomes are energetic, flamboyant, and characteristic, having bright or white hair and beards. Yeah, I'm working on mine. It's gonna be white anytime soon now, unfortunately. They also wear bright colors and are especially fond of bright red and pink hats. Yeah, baby, I picked that pink hats just for you. I hope you're paying attention. She's not. Oh, they possess an uncanny luck and have great talents as sorcerers, colorful cousins of gnomes. They are adventurous, and even most stayed among them is prone to wander. Although commonly referred as chaos gnomes, they call themselves the Imago, which I think is really, really cool. Now, gnomes, I think, of all the races that I've seen people play, honestly, I feel like this is the one I see the least, because if you're going to play a small race, most people take the halfling because of the lucky trait that the halfling has. So, I was just tickled pink when I saw these features for this character. So first off, before I get into the mechanics, what do you guys think about the idea of these chaotic spirit gnome characters?
So I think I'm gonna go with the very obvious one, the one that immediately calls to you, and especially when they wrote in, of course, great talent as sorcerers. What sorcerer is very chaotic? The wild
magic. Yeah, see what you did there.
Like, yes, a wild magic chaos gnome.
That sounds
See,
awesome.
whenever you were saying this, what I specifically thought of, because I didn't read gnome because I saw that you picked gnome, so I skipped over gnomes. What I immediately, whenever you started talking about this, I think you got to the pink hats, and I immediately thought of an arc, like your character arc is that something destroyed your town, and you have like no idea what destroyed your town, right? And then it turns out that in the mountains there's a nilbog that destroyed your town, that commanded things to destroy your town. You got to go fight the nilbog, because that to me sounds like a nilbog that can be good.
That is awesome. I love that.
And I know so many people who want to play a nilbog, so like there you go.
There you go. There it is.
Probably the closest thing you can get.
Right. At least right now. All right, so what are the character traits that you get, or the racial traits that you get? Charisma is the ability score, so if you're going for that sorcerer build, this is definitely great up there. I also like the idea of it playing like a bard too, but anyways, so what really was tickling my dice was their feature, the Luck of Chaos. Once per day when you make a die roll, you can choose to re-roll one die. Wow, that almost sounds familiar. Let's see if there's more. You can choose to do so after the after you roll the die, but before the DM tells you whether you succeed or fail. You must take the result and re-roll, and must use the if it's worth what?
It's the pink cat.
So, damn it, you must take the result on the reroll even if it's worse than the original. Now, already right here, it sounds a bit more powerful than the halfling trait. But,
a little bit.
In addition, once per day, when an attack hits you, you may force an enemy to reroll the attack again. The enemy must take the result of the reroll even if it's worse than the original. Or better, I would argue.
You can impose it on them.
Yes, so...
Okay.
I mentioned... the reason I mentioned balance particularly because this is particularly powerful since it's not on just a 1. But then it's offset because you can only do it once per day. Unlike a halfling that can re-roll any one, right? So I feel like that was a really good... happy balance mechanic that they did for this, because now I can just change whatever, and I'm immediately going to my divination wizard, because this is way more useful than the lucky trait that the halfling has, because I can change any roll or re-roll a roll, and then I can impose it on an enemy. So I really thought this was really cool. I'd love to hear what you guys think overall. Since you're our guest, Alex, would you like to go first?
I mean. Well, my question is in addition. So you can do both. You can do both of them once a day. That's what it's saying.
That's the way I take it.
Yeah, that's the way I take it too. I enjoy that a lot. Personally, I think it's more fun than
Mm-hmm.
the luck feature. But I would be, honestly, if it's just two once a day, but each one, I mean, that's not really like, what are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna break stuff?
Well, and
I actually really enjoy it.
I think the big thing is that it's specifically, just like some of the other rules, you have to choose to use it before you know the outcome. So it's not
Right.
like, oh, I lost, I'm gonna re-roll it. No, it's I got a 12. That might hit. That might not hit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not only that, you have to take the reroll,
Yes.
which isn't like the lucky feat.
Right.
I think in the lucky feat you can kind of pick and choose. This one you just gotta accept it. Which
So,
fits in the whole chaos theme where it's like, I don't really like this roll, so I'm just gonna roll it again and see if this one's any better. That
nope.
kind of thing.
Shit out of luck. And I really think that's what makes it interesting. But the fact that it is limited to only twice a day, if you assume an average encounter of 4 to 6 encounters in an adventuring day, that's not all that
Yeah.
much. Ian, what do you think? I know you're big on mechanics.
I definitely think there's a lot of versatility to this one, and I definitely see that Luck of Chaos kind of a potential get out of jail free card.
Definitely there, yes.
Absolutely.
So it's in my book.
Okay, and then following the whole chaos feature, the last feature you get is you get chaos magic. You learn prestidigitation cantrip, which, by the way, next to minor image is bar none, probably the best cantrip in the game. Fight me on it. And then when you reach 3rd level, you can cast Chaos Bolt spell as a 1st level spell once with this trait, and then you gain the ability to cast it again when you finish a long rest. Charisma is your spellcasting modifier. Also, if you score a critical hit while casting Chaos Bolt spell using this feature, the bolt deals damage as though you were cast at 2nd level. So that's really cool.
Right.
That really gives me the chaotic factor, right? Because casting critical already is double damage or double dice damage, but now you're gonna upscale the spell and then double that damage, and that is just awesome. What do you?
And even then,
Go
I
ahead.
think the odds of it happening are so low anyway, right? Because you're casting this realistically once per long rest, right?
Right.
So, or at
Yeah.
least using it as the trait. I don't know if you actually learn the spell. Nope, it just says you just are
No,
able to cast it. You don't
it's
learn it.
it's worth pointing that out too. Some people don't know that. Just because you get a feature that gives you access to an ability, it doesn't necessarily mean it's on your spell list.
Yeah.
So keep that in note. Just because this race would give you the Chaos Bolt, it wouldn't necessarily be added to your spell list.
Which I
So-
think is you can actually use this as a great example, at least this feature specifically, because it says you learn the prestidigitation cantrip, but you don't learn the Chaos Bolt spell.
right. It just says you can use it.
Yeah.
Yep. So
What
kudos.
do you think, Alex?
There's a lesson here.
I think that it's really cool. My biggest thing is how would I, what my biggest thing is for this entire subrace is where would I go tactically? Of course, because you always have to think about not just the role play but also the fighting aspects, because fighting is a big aspect of D&D, and so the neat thing about this is that, to me, I don't know about you guys, but to me, this feels like a blank canvas.
Yeah, I can see that.
I could see that. Yeah.
Just literally, think about a wild magic barbarian. This guy. Could you imagine?
That'd be so much fun. Because
Insane.
you can leverage roles, especially if you're a grappler type character or one that likes to play a more support role. That's where I think prestidigitation comes in really cool, because you can do a lot with prestidigitation, whether it's a simple distraction or trying to recreate a cinematic in the palm of your hand. It gives you a lot of utility that way. The big risk that I do see is, correct me if I'm mistaken, Chaos Bolt can hit your allies. Because
I believe it.
it like jumps randomly, doesn't it, to like the nearest targets? Something like
Let me
that.
look it up. The other one that I was thinking of for this was the mouth of the group.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my god! Think of